with me.
Yeah, it's the rainy season here in Oregon. So every day
Okay.
it's cloudy, it's 50 degrees and it's raining.
Oh,
That's like standard Oregon weather on any given day. It's 50 degrees, raining or cloudy.
I should visit there one of these days when I'm in the state. I'll make my visit there.
Okay.
Yeah,
Did you say that you've been to the US?
about 6, 7 times.
Wow.
And I know like 10 different states in the US.
Mm.
Yeah.
What was when were you here last?
2017 when I won the global health contest. I came there. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And since then, I've been too busy because I had to move to the UK for my third master's. Then I came home. I was supposed to come to US again last year, but for COVID, I had to stay back.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you did because we have a lot of COVID here right now.
Yeah.
We have enough COVID, you could take it home in a suitcase. They're giving it away free at the airports. Large quantities of virus packed in nice packages, free to any country who wants them.
Oh yeah. We don't want them. We're okay because what we are going through now is not easy.
Okay, well, I'm free. We're very generous with it. If you haven't noticed, we're very generous with our virus. We give it to everybody.
Freely.
Yes, very generous. We're not stingy with our diseases.
I know you cannot be stingy. You cannot be stingy. Mother of the world, you cannot be stingy.
The American people are generous. What can I say?
Oh yeah.
So we're gonna go ahead and get started here.
Okay.
Today, Seth, I have my feature writing class with me, and these are my advanced reporting students. I should also have some of my digital journalism students who may be logging in as well. For those of you who have not come on camera, it's okay to come on camera now. Don't be shy. And just to introduce myself, my name is Jeslyn Lemke. I am the assistant professor of journalism here at Pacific University. And we won an Elliott grant from the university to fund 3 different West Africa speakers to talk about their experiences reporting COVID in their respective countries. This is the esteemed journalist Seth Boateng from Ghana with MyJoyMedia. He's reporting to us from Accra, Ghana, 9 p.m. There right now. And I am recording this, if that's okay. Is that all right with you? Okay, great. And I see a few people here that I don't recognize. Who are Dallas and Cole? Hi.
I'm here as part of like the French activities. This was one of our options, so.
Awesome. Okay.
I'm in another media class, and my professor shot this out to me as a good little meeting to attend to.
Awesome. Okay, well, it's so good to have you guys. Well, Seth, without further ado, I'll let you take it away. I'm going to assign you as co-host so you can share your screen. Okay. And I'm going to make you a co-host here. And then, so Seth is going to talk for maybe 30 or 40 minutes, guys. And please go ahead and put together a question or two for him. And then we'll open it up for questions when Seth is finished talking. We've got this journalist for 2 hours, so it's okay to have a conversation after he's done presenting. Seth, these are aspiring journalists. A lot of them are already writing for US publications. So I'm sure they have a lot of questions for you. All right, go for it.
Thank you very much. And I'm grateful for this opportunity. It's always a privilege to make time to speak to my colleagues because I am there and they will soon join some of us. And I've been practicing for some time now. I think I'm in my 18th year as a journalist, and a lot of people do not know that I started as a receptionist and I rose through the ranks to where I am now. So quite an interesting story to share. One day I'm going to share the story, my journey to the top. I'll share that. But for now, I'm here to speak to you about how we have been reporting in this COVID era. It's extremely difficult for some of us and where we are. But before I go and speak about the COVID issue, I first of all want to introduce myself. So I'm Seth Kwame Boateng, and this is how I started. I didn't think I could get to where I am today, but here I am today on my right. I'm an assistant editor at Joy News, Jeslyn said, and I've been with this media house since I completed high school, and I've been with them since 2003. And without bragging, I would want to say this quietly. I'm one of Ghana's most decorated journalists. I have over 25 awards as I speak. I'm Ghana's 41st overall best journalist. You can see from the shots here. And also I've won quite some international awards. In 2017, I was adjudged the best West African journalist of the year, the whole of West Africa. And also the first Ghanaian to win the global health contest in the US, that was 2017. And my career and my education, I planned them. So because I wanted to achieve something. So I went for a background that will help me achieve my career goals. So I had, after my first degree, I went in to do communication studies because I had been working as a journalist without any formal training. So I needed to go in for formal training so that I would understand the theories very well and help me apply them. Afterwards, I went in for a second master's in conflict, peace, and security because I realized that in parts of Ghana, there are pockets of conflict, and how I was thinking of how I could go in and help fix those problems, how I could use my communication skills and tell stories on conflict and bring out issues. And I can say that after this degree, I've been able to solve handle a number of conflict situations in Ghana, and I've had results. And a number of conflict situations have ended because of my work. Then I went in for a third master's degree in public health from University of Leeds because I realized that I was very much interested in health. And we had just a few, when I say just a few, I think so far I'm the only journalist in Ghana with public health background because I wanted to understand the issues. Some of us where we are, we do not like specialization, but I told myself, no, I need to do this work and do it. So I have to understand it well so that when I handle a topic, I'm able to get the powers that be to listen to me. So I can say that anytime the president of Ghana hears I'm coming up with a health documentary, he wants to listen. Anytime the vice president of Ghana hears I have a documentary coming up, he wants to listen. At times, he will call me. What can we do about what you are talking about? And I'll tell them we can do ABC, and I get them to solve the problems I highlight. So it's the reason I went in for this, and I'm using this to solve problems in Ghana. So enough of the introduction. Now let's zoom into the status of COVID-19 pandemic in Ghana. And today is a historic day because today our path to recovery began. We received our first shipment of the vaccine in Ghana today. So I'm happy this has coincided with our presentation. It's a historic day in Ghana. And we received 600,000 vaccines. And journalists in Ghana are a few of the privileged people who would have the first shot before it goes down to the other sections of society. Now let's talk about the figures, COVID figures. As we speak today, our active case is 6,812. And we've recorded 582 deaths so far. We have today recorded 506 new cases. and we have 80,759 confirmed cases. So far, we've been able to discharge some 73,665 people who got the virus. So until last week, we were recording an average of 700 new cases every day from beginning of this year, every day. So you can see the map of Ghana and the hotspots. The red spots show the hotspots in Ghana. And I have a breakdown of the deaths. You can see from the graph, from the bar that we have, how the deaths increase from January. Look at the blue lines from January to February. And it's because in December we had elections and the campaigning season, the politicians were going about campaigning without respecting the protocols. So we anticipated this, and it's serious. Our hospitals are full. They are full. Our intensive care units are full. You go there now, and it's like next to die. Who should die next? Who do we have to remove the ventilator on? Who do we take from this bed and put you on? That's the situation now we have in Ghana. It's that bad. So that's why I'm happy we got the vaccines today. It's the reason I said journey to recovery has started today. And Accra, where I am, that's the capital. We are the hardest hit. You can check from the data above. So far, we have recorded some 42,209 cases. And it's terrible in Accra because even though we have been told to respect the COVID protocols, not all people are respecting. So the cases are just going up in Accra. And impact on jobs, and this is crucial. Look at the figures. 770,000 workers had their wages reduced. In my office, some people are still receiving half salary. Half salary. Now we have 42,000 employees who were laid off during the partial lockdown. We had partial lockdown last year, and 42,000 people were laid off. Then we have 700,000 workers had their working hours reduced. Look at 244,000 firms adjusted to digital solutions. So they didn't need you inside to come and work. That's how bad the situation became in Ghana. Then we have some 115.2 million estimated average sales decrease in Ghana. So it tells the impact on jobs and everything. Now I'm coming to talk about its impact on the media, and what we have here is where I work. Multimedia Group Limited is the biggest private media house in Ghana and the oldest, I must say. And we have 3 television channels, and we have 7 radio stations and 2 online portals. We have about 700 workforce. Yeah. And this is a colleague of mine who got the virus. He was the first person to get the virus in my office, and it was crazy. The panic, the fear, and everything. And he had it at the time. People didn't want to disclose their status, and he was bold enough to come out and say, "I have tested positive. I'm receiving treatment." It was a big deal for a journalist of his caliber to come out. It gave people confidence that, well, we can also declare our status, because people were hiding, and it was dangerous because you need to let the world know. You needed to let authorities know so they could help you. So he declared, and he was admitted. He went through the journey, and he's okay. I sit with him in the same office. In fact, we share the same desk. So people keep asking, why haven't I contracted the virus yet? I don't know.
Wow, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
Yeah, and we have another editor of mine, one of our editors, Israelite. Nobody obeys the protocols more than him. Nobody respects the COVID protocols more than him, yet he tested positive. And it was shocking because he would obey everything. He will not eat in the office. He prefers going to his car to eat his lunch. He will come sanitize his table. He will never see him remove his mask. So it was shocking that he had it. Then the third guy, we nearly lost this gentleman. We nearly lost him. when he tells his story, at a point, the doctors had to call his family to come around, stand behind the glass so he could see them, so he wouldn't give up. Because at a point, he said his last prayers that he was going until they brought his family around, his wife, his mother and father. They stood behind that glass and he saw them and they were shouting, please don't give up, please don't give up. It was crazy. We nearly lost him. Raymond Aqua. He is studying in the UK, reading his law in the UK, but he came down because of the elections to help us with the analysis. And he came down. He's still not been able to go back because he's now recovering. It's still not easy for him. And at this point, a minute, please. So I said earlier that its impact on us. Journalists lost jobs. We lost our jobs, including some in my office. Friends were made to go home because, media, we survive on adverts. And advertisers were not coming. They cut down on the adverts because of the COVID, the impact. Everything came down. So some people had to go home. One impact. Some media houses are, as we speak, still struggling to foot their bills, let alone pay salaries. Some journalists, including my station, that is the MGL, Multimedia Group Limited, have contracted the deadly virus, as I shared with you a while ago. And the last person I shared is still battling with the complications. It's difficult for him to put water on himself. The post-COVID complications, he's battling that as we speak. Now, on me, per my job or my task, I'm supposed to produce one documentary every month. I'm a documentary filmmaker. That's why I'm excited speaking to colleagues who in the feature class. Am I correct? Feature class, because I do a lot of that. I'm into documentaries.
Yeah, it's a feature writing and advanced reporting class.
Exactly. So you can see some of my works. So what I do in my office, I'm supposed to produce one documentary every month. From last year, I couldn't because I was scared. I was extremely scared to go out because those who were even obeying the protocols were contracting. How much more you going to be on the field, going to speak to people? So I couldn't. As we speak, I am now, ordinarily, I should have showed like 2 of my documentaries this year. I'm now in the process of finishing my first for the year. And my editors are surprised because it has never happened. And I remember these pictures I took, I was on the field when the announcement came that Ghana had recorded 2 COVID cases. I was on the field working. I had to truncate my journey. I was so scared. I didn't know what to do because we thought the moment you get the virus is the end of the journey, that you are dying. So at this point, everybody was scared. I had to truncate this trip, call my wife that he should not let the kids go out. They should not go to school. I told my wife, you don't have to go to work because I'm coming back. And I was far from the capital. I was like 20 hours away from the capital. And I had to find my way back because I was so scared that Ghana had recorded the case. And prior to that, we had engaged public health experts and they had intensified education about the virus, how we needed to respect the protocols and everything. So we were respecting the protocols. Then prior to a case being reported in Ghana, I remember very well that we were still washing our hands. That communication had gone on for some time that, yeah, we needed to wash our hands and everything. So we're doing that. But after the first 2 cases were reported, things changed. In my newsroom, there was mad rush for hand sanitizers, nose mask, and serious social distancing. So your friend would not even want to get closer to you. Your friend you share common desk with wouldn't want to come near where you are standing. They'll tell you protocols. We needed to respect that. And we also concerned about people with underlying conditions in my office because it's critical when they get the virus. So we're concerned about them. So we're respecting the protocols. Now, we had to be on the field and report the COVID stories. And at a point, we had to go to the cemetery with the public health people who needed to bury COVID patients. So the pictures you see, you can see coffin on your right, COVID patients, people who succumbed to COVID, who were being buried. And it was, the burial were being done strictly under COVID protocols. So you can see us dressed in having our PPEs on and everything, and we were covering that. When we needed to do interviews, interview health respect, we needed to dress well, especially those who were handling the COVID patient, because you didn't want to risk. And when you came back from the field, you sanitize yourself, you go straight home and you discard the PPEs, you go home. And I remember we were all given vitamin C and zinc so that we boost our immune system. You can see some of my colleagues on the field doing the work. And we all panicked because it sounded as if the moment you get the virus, that would be your end. In my office, we had to start shift system, and we are still doing the shift system because when we are all in the office, the crowding is that serious. We're crowded in my office when we are all there, because in my newsroom we are close to about 40. It's a big newsroom because we are doing for both television, online, and TV and radio. So it's quite a large newsroom, and some people with underlying health conditions had to stay out of the office and work from home. And still, some people are doing that. They are still working from home because it has not really gone down. And in my office, almost every week we get a case. Almost every week. So almost every week, fumigation exercise goes on. Almost every week. That's how bad it is now. So people are still working from home, and I will soon play this clip to you. You'll see two news anchors. The gentleman was anchoring the news from home while the lady was in the office. We had to use technology so that not all of us, so that the crowding will go down, so that we would be able to ensure that we are all respecting the protocol. So I'm going to just share that with you. So just watch, and after the video, you see they zoom in, they show you where he was reporting from. So just a quick one. I hope you're all ready.
Oh, it's not playing the sound, Seth.
Is the sound not coming?
No, it's not turning on.
Oh, let me try again. Is it better? Is it better?
No, we can't hear it. In your Zoom settings, if you because I've made you a host, if you go in the bottom left of your screen and you
a
click
minute,
on,
please.
Can you hear me?
Yes, a minute, please. Let me check.
Yeah. So
if I go there, where?
Yeah. So if you go to the bottom of your Zoom screen on the far left, there's a mute button, and then there's a small white arrow next to the mute button.
Okay, a minute.
And if that doesn't work, you can just email me the link and I'll play it off my computer.
Oh, okay. This one we didn't have the link. I had to edit.
Yeah.
Um,
so did you find the microphone? Do you see where on the bottom left panel you have mute and then you have the arrow?
Yes.
Okay. So it will say select a microphone and select a speaker.
Oh, wow. Okay, I just wanted to show you. So if they can see the video without even the sound, it's okay. So that they will just see where he was reporting from, doing the news from. So just let me show you that one.
Yeah.
Without the sound.
Seth, can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. Why don't you send me the link to your video in the chat and I will try to play it on my computer. Would that work for you?
Okay, so this one I just pulled the video and I edited. It's not link one.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, but the other one, we have the link so you can play from there.
Okay. Oh, one of my students might have an option for you.
Okay.
At the very top of the screen, it says view options and you can select share computer audio.
Okay, a minute, please.
Thank you, Bren.
Technology, a minute.
You're doing great, Seth. It's a really good presentation.
Trying to locate it. Where is it?
So I can see this. It's at the very top of my own screen. If you take your cursor and go all the way to the top of your screen,
Yeah.
something that you will see a pop-up bar that says View Options, and if you click View Options, it may give you the option to share your computer audio.
Okay. I'm not. I'm not getting that. You'll see. You just monitor. I just want to show you the video.
Okay.
Of his house and where he was doing the anchoring from.
Sure.
Oh, where have I pressed? Okay, you can see now.
Yeah, we can see
it's
it
on the screen. Okay, so just at the tail end, you'll see that he was presenting the news from his room. So you can see, let's forget about the sound and just watch the video, please. So he's saying that's the end of the bulletin, and he mentioned his name, and he says he's been reporting from home. And the lady is saying that she is in the office and reporting from the studio. So now the video is coming. Look at his room. He's reporting from his room. There's the kind of technology we had to use.
Nice.
So he was doing it from his room, and we had to set up. We had to set up, and it was amazing. We thought we could not do this, and we enjoyed it so much that even when things normalized, we still made him report from home.
Okay, well, that works.
Oh yeah. So still impact of COVID on journalism. Our work life completely changed. In our setting, it's normal to eat together, to shake hands, to attend ceremonies together. But that had to stop because of that. And it's really affected our lives in the office, because it's not normal that I come to the office and I will not shake the hand of a colleague or hug a colleague. Or if we were eating together, now we had to stop. And in the past, you could freely sneeze in the office and nobody will question you. You could freely cough in the office and nobody will question you. Now you attempt and you see the number of people who run away, who leave the newsroom. By the time you realize, people have stretched for their sanitizers and will be fumigating, because we also expect each other. We don't trust each other, because I don't know where you are coming from. You don't know where I'm coming from. So it could be a genuine sneeze, a genuine cough, yet people might think it's COVID and we are scared. And media houses acquired nose masks and started distributing them to team members. In my office, for example, management had to go in for nose masks and give us, because they wanted us to protect ourselves. We had to start using Zoom interviews. So instead of be on the field to do interviews, we rather raise people on Zoom, call people on Zoom or Skype, and we'll be speaking to them. That was safer, because you didn't trust anyone, so you didn't want to risk. So we're using technology more, and I think it has come to stay. And now it appears we are enjoying it. It's only some of us, those of us who are into documentaries, or that we are really going on the field now, because for documentaries, you need to be in their natural setting. You can't be doing no Zoom. So we go down to the people and we do that. And aside the PPEs, the personal protective equipment, my media house, as I said earlier, had to go in for vitamin C and zinc to help us boost our immune system. That was crucial. And with the high rate of infection in Ghana now, and the scores of journalists who have acquired the virus and are either battling for their lives and the complications they are facing, people are afraid to go on the field and do any field work. People are really afraid, because especially those of us with families, you wouldn't want to be the reason your wife or your children will contract COVID. So we are scared. At a point, my news editor wanted me to go somewhere. I told him, my children are very young. So please, let me do that on using technology. I was so scared. And now we are using technology more to do our work. Only a few of us have the courage to go on the field and gather facts. And that is affecting us because some of the things you must be there to see so that you can report accurately. That is key. When you see, it informs how you report. Now we have to rely on Zoom, on other technologies, and you will not get the field feel, the experience as you would have loved to. But now we are gradually warming up, and we have started going to the field because now we have the PPEs and we are respecting the protocols, and so we are getting a bit okay with that. And now that we have received the vaccine, I think it's going to boost our confidence the more for us to start our field work. And keeping the journalists safe. In my office, it's compulsory. You have to wear your mask. In fact, you go on 2 weeks suspension when caught without wearing face mask, and that goes with 2 weeks salary reduction. So it's mandatory. You have to wear it, whether you are on radio, on television, wherever. You must have your nose mask on. And we are still running the shift system to ease congestion in the newsroom. We are still using technology to work from home. They are still providing us with hand sanitizers. We have temperature guns fixed in our offices. So before you enter our office, you first of all have to wash your hands. You use after washing your hands with soap and running water, you have to sanitize your hands with a hand sanitizer. Then you have to go and use the temperature gun to check your temperature. If it's above that threshold, you'll be asked to go and see your doctor. And we are sticking to that. It's helping, but still we are getting cases in the office, isolated cases, I must say. And then anytime we have a case in the office, we conduct mass testing. And I applaud my management for that. Anytime somebody gets the disease, it tests positive, almost all of us would have to go and do the test so that we are sure that we are okay. Now the field work has resumed. You can see me. This was just last week. I was in one of our prisons. I was speaking to an inmate from our prisons. I'm a bit confident now because I've realized that people who got it are recovering. So I'm not that scared anymore. So I was on the field. I've been on the field for some time, putting together my new project. It's on road traffic accident. That is our coronavirus in Ghana, because it kills approximately 2,000 people every year, road traffic accident. So we are also battling with another coronavirus, which is road traffic accident in Ghana. So I'm doing a documentary on that. It's a public health issue. That's why I'm focusing on that. And you can see me on the field, conducting my interviews, having my nose masks, and making sure that the people I'm speaking to, if you might see some of the people not wearing nose masks because I am filming them. So I have a gap between us. So I'm a bit safe. And when I leave there, I quickly have to go and sanitize or fumigate or whatever it is so that I know I'm not taking anything home. Reporting through a pandemic. And we work as a team. We have different desks in our office, the health desk, the political desk, the economics desk, the social desk, and everything. So we do everything together. So very soon, Jeslyn will play some of the documentaries. But before we come there, I want us to finish with the slides so that we get a chance to play the videos. I don't know if that is okay.
Yeah, that's
all
fine.
Right.
Yeah. Thanks.
Okay. So I'm coming to share with you how it has affected our culture and our religion. Where I am from, in our part of the world, we cherish some things. Funerals. We give funerals the prominence it deserves, the attention it deserves, because we feel we must be there and pay our last respect to the person. So you will see hundreds of people attending a funeral. Very soon I'll share some pictures with you. But now we are being told 25 people at a time. You can imagine, 25 people at a time. And so when you go to funerals, you see police officers there making sure that you have 25 people at a time. In the past, we had thousands of people attending funerals. So you see the pictures, and that's a bit sad because you're unable to attend some of the funerals. You don't even want to go. You are scared. Last week, I was telling my mother-in-law, who told me she wanted to attend a funeral. I said, Mom, you cannot go. We have a baby in the house. You cannot go. And she's, I must go. I said, Mom, you cannot go because of COVID. Yeah, you might have the nose mask on. You might have your hands sanitized, but I don't know. Anything can happen. So please, you can't go. And it's really affecting our culture because we see funerals as part of our culture and we do it well. And our church services, we don't joke with that. Now you go to church and you can't even shake hands. You are scared. I'll share some pictures with you in my next slide. You can't hug people again. I don't recall the last time I had a hug, perhaps from my children, but I'm scared. Even if they want to come and hug me, I'm scared because I've just come back from office. I don't know perhaps I have some virus in my dress or my shirt. I'm scared. Yeah. And our extended family system. We love our extended family system. Look at one family, you would have your aunties, your uncles, everybody around. And where I am, you could visit any family member without notifying them that you are coming. You just get up and you go. Nobody will question you. Now it's no more. Now it's about the nuclear family because you don't trust who is coming in. Yeah, an uncle might want to visit you. You don't trust where he's coming from. You are so scared. So it's really affecting us. So it's like we are all now caring for our nuclear family. We seem to have relegated our extended family system to the background because of COVID. And it's really not helping. I mix my extended family, but I'm unable to visit. Now it's about the nuclear family. Myself, my children, my wife. That's how it is now. Then and now. In the past, you could shake hands. In the past, I could get a warm hug from my lecturers, from my professors. The one down here, I had just received an award. And there's a professor in media studies in Ghana, one of Professor Audrey Gajepo. And she was there to congratulate me, give me a hug. Now I can't. Look on your right. You see our vice president now with the new COVID handshake. That's how we call it. With the elbow. That's how we shake now. You can see down there some pastors, when this COVID came, we thought they were not afraid because of their faith. Now they're all having to shake with their elbows because you don't want to go straight and shake anybody's hand. You are scared. Now look at our funerals. You can have hundreds of people attending the funeral. Look at this picture. Hundreds of people attending. Look at the crowd, the congestion. Now you can't do that anymore. Let me show you this. Now you go to funerals and it's like this. That's how bad it is. Thank you. So now we can play some of the documentaries and I'll take questions and we're going to have a discussion. It's a discussion we're going to have. Thank you for your attention. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you, Seth. That was really good. I'm going to go ahead and open up the documentary links that Seth sent me of some of the news coverage that they broadcast out a week or a month ago. Just give me a second, guys.
My daughter that I have to give up.
1 second here.
Because I'm tired.
Okay, so Seth, I'm gonna share my screen here. Oh, will you take your screen sharing off?
Not a minute. I think I've pressed something.
Yeah. It would be at the bottom of your screen. You would come in and you would say stop share or stop sharing screen. It would also be at the top of your screen. You want to stop sharing your screen.
Okay, I have to stop. Okay, stop share. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
have
there you go.
stopped.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice. And then I'm going to share my screen. And would you like to introduce this video briefly? What can you
Okay.
tell us what's the background behind this video?
Okay, so this one of the stories we did. This a COVID patient. This woman started experiencing the symptoms, but she didn't have money to go to the hospital until it got worse. And we spent time with her in the hospital to tell her story. And another video that follows, one of my colleagues had to visit a dying COVID patient, be by the birth of that person, and the journey it's quite emotional. And she was telling a story on the need for people to respect the protocols, the need for people to appreciate that COVID exists. I brought this idea because I felt at a point people were not respecting it. So I said it is time we put fear in people. We have to go to the hospitals and show videos of what people are going through. We have to go to the hospitals and speak to victims, to patients, so that those outside who think COVID is not real would appreciate that it's real. That's the rationale behind this.
Great. When was this video that I'm about to show published?
Just last month.
All right, I'm going to hit play. This is about 4 minutes long. And go.
Tell my daughter that I have to give up
Can you hear it?
because I'm tired.
64-year-old Auntie Joyce in one of her low points as she sits in the ICU at the COVID-19 treatment center of the Greater Accra Regional Hospital. She has just been taken off oxygen after being on a mechanical ventilator for days. As a pensioner who hardly goes out, she wonders how she contracted the virus.
I stay with some babies. Their mothers went to work. If they come back, then I come home. When it starts like fever, my mouth, and I lose appetite. I can't eat, but I used to force to eat. Yes. After that, I could see that if I'm walking, I don't have enough breath. Like I want to faint. So I have to take taxi.
Having taken ill before government's announcement of free testing, Auntie Joyce explains how her inability to afford the cost of testing made her delay in reporting to the hospital.
About maybe 3 days, 4 days. The first day I told their mother that in fact I'm weak. So the following day when I came home and I went to a nearby clinic, and they gave me drip and medicine. I came home later. Then I come back to Kaneshi Polyclinic and they treated me. Even they told me that I should come and do the test. In fact, I'm a pensioner, so I'm waiting for my money on Friday to come on Monday. Before Thursday, I collapse. They rushed me back to the Kaneshi Polyclinic.
While on the ventilator, Auntie Joyce, just like all the others in her ward, was consuming up to 15 liters of oxygen every minute. And now that she's off the ventilator, she's struggling to complete even a 1-minute conversation.
When I was in a polyclinic, in fact, I got tired. If my student carried me, in fact, I said they should give me air, fresh air. Yes. I know that I was very, very tired when I was in the polyclinic. Oh, in fact, I'm a challenger. Even I was saying that, this COVID, is it an airborne? So, in fact,
Just relax a bit. Just relax a bit and catch your breath. And so you're seeing her struggling to nearly even talk. And that's the manifestation of the virus right there. Shortness of breath as you're seeing her. And you would have to just give her some few seconds to catch her breath. She feels very tired, she tells me. Starting merely as a fever, her experience at the ICU has taught her that the virus is indeed real. She wants people to adhere to the COVID-19 protocols.
COVID is very real. So they should keep themselves safety, washing their hands. Anytime they should put on their nose mask. Yes.
This advice from Auntie Joyce cannot be overemphasized, as most recent cases being recorded are severe and critical. Manuel Cranting, Joy News, Accra.
Jeslyn, do you have the link to the other one?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah. If you'll give me a second, the first link you sent me there's actually no story attached to it. So I found that if I Googled your headline, I can still find it. All right, let's see if the story is attached to this one. That last film was quite emotional.
Yeah. This one, yeah. The
Okay.
video is there.
All right. So would I just click here? Or is that list to listen to it?
No, come down. I think the video is down there.
Okay.
The video should be in it.
All right, let me go back. Okay, right here?
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Inside the high dependency unit of the East Hospital, very critically ill COVID-19 patients are being attended to. 4 patients are back for a second chance to live. Every beep from these ventilators speaks volume. Some sick person living on, or a life gradually slipping out of time.
A lot of cases here, we do lose some of them. So it's better to be in the comfort of your home than be in an ICU.
Linda, not her real name, is no longer in the ICU. She's recovering from COVID-19 under very strict supervision. Before she tested positive, she was very mindful of adhering to the safety protocols until she let her guard down at a family gathering.
I used to call myself the COVID police until the police caught me. It's okay for granted one day.
One day? Where did you go?
No. Just family.
Oh.
Family, yes.
And it happened to you? Grandma Ife stayed away from all public places, stayed home with the family, but got infected.
My grandchildren were for a party. And after the party, they swam. So when they came to me, I think 2 days later, the big granddaughter was having some symptoms. By then, I didn't know the symptom. My eyes was like a running nose. Then later on, I saw that she was getting temperature. So we rushed her to the pharmacy if it's malaria. Then the pharmacist told us that, but he just gave us some first aid. But when we came on the following day, I said, no, let's go to Noguchi. So the little one was coming closer to me. So I think after 4 days, I also started feeling a bit throat itching. But I didn't take it serious. I just went to do my concoction and I drank and it was over. Then 3 days later, that this thing will hit me. I kept vomiting. My son said, no, Mommy, you have got COVID. Let's go to the district hospital.
So what happened to your grandchildren? Where are they?
They went to Noguchi and were all tested positive. So they have their own hospital they go to.
Other patients who are now out of danger and recovering from the virus are cautioning the public to adhere to the safety protocols.
Well, the sickness makes you very weak, very, very weak, and it's not comfortable at all. Okay, that's what I would say. People should observe the protocols. The disease is here.
Surprisingly, I've been very careful as to how to manage my affairs on this COVID issue. But sometimes you are constrained. You find yourself in a lot of activities you cannot run away from. And so before I rise, Jack, you have it.
A total of 62 COVID-19 patients are receiving care here, but the severity of their condition is a source of concern to health workers. Dr. Ebenezer Ojo-Mensah is the medical superintendent at the Gap East Hospital.
We think more people are ill now than last year, and the severity of the illness has increased compared to what we were seeing last year. And this can't be due to chance. So if a new variant
what exactly is accounting for what we are seeing now?
Well, this coincides with the worldwide pattern of increased severity of COVID-19 across the world. If you look at most countries, UK, Germany, etc., they are more or less closing up now because they have more ill patients on admission. If you listen to international news, that's exactly what we're experiencing now. And it has been acknowledged that the new variant is in country, including the South African variant as well. And these are known to cause more severe disease. So since we've had quite a few of our compatriots coming over the holidays, we believe that one way or the other, the new variant has found itself into the country and could be contributing to the severity of the disease we are currently seeing. That does not mean the old variant is not there. It's still there. It's still causing illness and disease. But when you compare the severity now to what we had earlier, we believe something has changed.
If for any reason you have doubted the COVID-19 messages that have been out there, if for any reason you have let your guard down, you have ignored the safety protocols that have been outlined by doctors on the front line, the visuals from this room alone should tell you something. See how critically ill COVID-19 patients are battling for their lives. See how frontline health workers are breaking their backs, going every length to give these people a second chance to life. This should be a wake-up call to all of us, especially you. For Joy News, Matilda Gavi, Ga East.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Seth.
Yeah. So as I said, just because of my public health background, at times you have to put fear in people for them to appreciate the issues. So I've been telling my office we need to tell more of these stories, and in the coming weeks we have a number of productions coming that we have prepared that we will be showing. We are speaking more to survivors. We are speaking. Can you hear me? You are mute.
I'm so sorry. I had something playing. Sorry, keep going.
All right, okay. So in the coming weeks or days, we have a lot of such stories that we have produced that we'll be screening, because we need to get people to appreciate that COVID is real. Until they start seeing these videos, until they start hearing from patients who have survived, or relatives who have had their loved ones succumb to the disease, they still don't believe that COVID is real. You still meet people on the streets of Accra or Ghana, and they will tell you, oh, it's not true, that COVID is not there. So they don't see the need to even wear their mask, and it's dangerous. That's why we have to be telling these stories. Thank you.
All right. Wow, Seth. That was a really wonderful presentation. I'd like to, if you if folks are there, could you come on camera, and we will go ahead and open the floor for questions. And I guess we will, yeah, let's give him a hand. Good thinking, Jodelle. Let's give Seth a hand here. Really good stuff. So let's go ahead and open the floor for questions, Seth. The students, I'm sure, have a lot to say to you and ask you. So in no particular order, who would like to ask a question?
Hi, Seth. Thank you so much for the presentation. It was awesome. I have a question. So in the US, COVID is sparking a lot of different social justice concerns, and it's intensifying a lot of existing social justice concerns, just because the way people are changing their lifestyle and the way people are accessing healthcare is changing. So issues like racial inequity and disparities, and like there's a big focus on like poverty right now. So all of these different social justice concerns are kind of coming to the forefront of journalism. Is that happening in Ghana as well? And like, how are you guys handling that?
That's not really an issue in Ghana. Just that we are hearing the medics tell us that a lot of people are not reporting, are not coming to the hospital now. So people prefer going to the pharmacy to get their own drugs. Self-medication is on the rise in Ghana. One, because you might have genuine cough, but you might think it's COVID. You are afraid, so you don't want to even go there for anyone to confirm to you that it's COVID. So you be in your room and you self-medicate. So this issue is aside the self-medication and people doing their own thing. Our system is not segregating others or favoring others more than other people. We are not doing that. We are giving everybody the equal opportunity. Just that some diseases that ordinarily would be high in Ghana, like malaria, like cholera, and all these things, you go to hospitals and they are not recording them because people are not coming and to even report. So you are even afraid to go to the hospital because you feel that it's not a safe place to go. So you rather do your own thing in your corner where you are. I don't know if I've answered your question.
I think you did. Thank you.
Okay,
I think we have a lot to learn from Ghana in that respect. Yeah. Like trying to give people access to like self-medicate by themselves.
And it's not the best. Self-medication is not the best.
well, yeah,
discouraging that. Yeah, they are discouraging that. It's not the best. So
it's
they are saying that.
To report.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, who's next?
I can go next.
Sure.
This is Jodelle. Thank you so much for. Thank you so much for spending time with us today. I'm sorry that I can't have my camera on right now. My Wi-Fi is not strong enough for that. But in talking about about culture and funerals and celebrate community gatherings, I'm kind of curious, do you hear people talking about like getting back together in large gatherings as soon as it's a little safer, or are people sounding a little more hesitant?
No, I'm telling you that when the numbers reduced, when the infection rate reduced, we went back to our normal things. The president had to come in and ban funerals and these ceremonies again, because we went back, you attend funerals and see thousands of people come together. They are without even respecting any of the protocols. So that was when the president had lifted that ban, replaced ban on that. But just a few weeks ago, he had to come back and place a ban on it again, because we realized that people were getting it from these gatherings. So those who were reporting, those who were going to the hospitals in recent times with COVID, they will go, and when they take their history, have you visited any place in the last 2 weeks? They'll say, yes. Where did you go? I attended a funeral. I attended a wedding. I attended this. You understand? So people are ready to go back. I told you that I mix hugging. I mix shaking of hands. It's our culture. That's how we feel we are. That's how we are. You understand? So people can't wait for COVID to go away so that we go back and attend funerals in our numbers, thousands, hundreds. We can't wait. I have a funeral to attend next Saturday, and I'm here and I'm thinking, it's a colleague's mom who died. And ordinarily, I should not think twice attending that funeral, but I'm here. And I'm struggling to find ways of telling him, sorry, I cannot make it. And, and it's going to be tough because it's a colleague's mother. When my mother died, he attended a funeral. So it is time to also go and empathize with him. And that has become a problem. So we can't wait for COVID to go away so that we go back to our default setting.
Thank you.
Welcome.
All right, who's next?
I had a question. You mentioned that you guys just got the first vaccines today. And I was just curious, kind of, if you have any information on plans for distributing the vaccines. Like, is it similar to the US where they're doing it kind of by high risk categories, like people above a certain age and stuff? And then also how they're going to proceed from this point forward with the vaccinations, like any plans for when they're going to get their next shipments or anything like that?
Okay, so let me answer from the second one. We don't have any information yet as to when the second consignment will come in, but I know that with what we have received so far, we are starting from the healthcare professionals, the frontline health workers. We are starting with them. Then we move to the judiciary, we move to the media, then we move to people above 60 years and others with underlying health conditions. That's the format that they are following now. Until something changes, that's what we have now. That's what we have been told now. Thank you.
That sounds similar to how it's rolling out here in Oregon too, Seth. They did our healthcare workers first. All right, who's next? Who has another question?
I can go.
Yeah.
So again, thank you for being here and doing this. So my question is, I think that like the United States, I think most people would agree that the US has a very like individualistic mindset rather than like community based. And when I look at other countries, like where my family's from in Mexico, they have a bigger sense of community. And I think that played a really big role in how big the COVID numbers are here in the United States. I was wondering if in Ghana, what's like the sense of community, and do you think that affected how the country is doing now in terms of COVID?
Yes, when we had our first case and they cataloged some interventions that we needed to follow, people respected that because schools had to be closed, churches had to be closed, and you have no idea how even pastors put pressure on government to open the churches. Sense of community. They will tell you people were depressed or are depressed and they need to come together. And it was true, yes, because how could you be in your house for 2 weeks, 1 month without going anywhere? You have nobody to talk to. And it's not every part of Ghana that we have electricity. So some people will be there with no social amenity, no source of entertainment. So it's during occasions like funerals, weddings, that they get to interact with people, they get to mingle with people. So that was an issue. So that sense of community we were lacking because of that, because of COVID. And it's the reason they put pressure on government, one, to open schools, to open churches, and to even open pubs. Just last 2 weeks, the president had to close pubs again because people were going to the beaches without respecting any of the protocols. And we were getting high numbers, especially from such areas where we had pubs, where we had beaches. We were getting the cases from there in their numbers. And where sense of community is very high. You go to places in Accra where we have the rich where they live. Hardly would you hear that somebody got the disease, because again, with the rich, they are always in their homes. They are thinking about themselves. Hardly would you see them mingling. Even if they will mingle, they have their own class and they expect them to respect the protocols when they are coming to them. But when you go to the other sections of our society where we see it as normal to eat together, to dance together, to drink from the same cup, to shake hands, to hug anytime, it's high. I don't know if I answered your question. Ashley?
Yeah, I think you did. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, Dawson, go for it.
Obviously, COVID has caused everyone to adapt and change how things are operated. Do you see any of these changes being things that are going to actually last even after the pandemic is done? I'm specifically was thinking of this because of your colleague who was reporting from home and is still reporting from home, even though that's no longer necessary. Do you see things like that continuing into the future?
I think things like that will continue. As I said, something like Zoom has come to stay. So now you wouldn't have to get guests travel all the way from their homes to your studio to grant you interviews. Zoom has come to stay. We are using Skype more. We are using WhatsApp more. And some things in our culture, I think handshake is gone forever. That was how I see it. It's gone forever. and from where I am, I see large gatherings, even though I pray that COVID goes away so that we meet. I don't think it's going to be that much. And I think in our churches, in Africa or in Ghana where I am, people could go to church for 5 hours. 5 hours. Now it is 2 hours maximum. And I think that has also come to stay, and we are enjoying it. Now you go 2 hours, you are done, you come home. and it has minimized the visit. You understand? Yeah, how people could just enter your homes. Oh, I'm passing by to say hello. No. Now you have to call me. And when you call me and I think I'm not too sure about you, I'll tell you I'm not available. I'm not home. So we can talk whatever you want to tell me. Let's talk on phone. So some things have come to stay. And I think that the shift system in my office is really working. Now it's giving people the chance to think well. Now, when you are free, you get a chance to think about, you get a lot of ideas. It's helping us get more ideas from people because now they are not in the office environment, so they are in their corner and they're able to think and come up with ideas. So the shift system, I think, has also come to stay. The congestion is gone forever. That's how I see it. And I think nothing will change it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep going. Cole, you're one of our guests today. Did you have a question, Cole?
Yeah, I was actually wondering the question before, kind of what things were going to stay, but seeing as that was already asked, I didn't have anything else that I was thinking of at the moment.
All right.
And Jeslyn, let me share some. I used to keep my hair and my beard. Then, until one doctor told me, Seth, do you know that virus can get into your beard and your hair?
Not a good filter.
So it's better you cut it short. So I had to go to the salon and cut it short.
So sorry.
Yeah, so that the nose mask can cover me well, because when it's bushy, it's unable to cover it well, and it's dangerous. So I think this has also come to stay. It's not growing again.
Well, we've all had to make sacrifices, Seth. Some of us with our facial hair. All right. Jan, I'm so glad to see you here today. Did you have a question, Jan? Jan is one of our French professors at the university.
I was just writing in a little note that I have to run to go prepare for a meeting. I really appreciated this. This was really fun. I'll just maybe quickly say I was really struck by the 2 videos where you were interviewing, or your colleague was interviewing, the patients, and how different it is from news stories that we see here, where it's very fast. Sometimes the person is interrupted, or they're, only a portion of what they say is used. And I just loved being able to hear the full story of Auntie Joy and, the respect that you gave to her full story, even through the silence of her trying to breathe. I thought that was so impactful, and I was so touched by it. And it really struck me how different it was from the kinds of news stories that I'm used to seeing here in the United States. So anyway, I was just really struck by that, and it was really touching. And I was also felt like, you know, it wasn't an appeal to statistics or, you know, charts and those kinds of things. It were these people's stories and their pleas to other people to
exactly.
please, you know, pay attention. This can happen to you. So anyway, that's less of a question and more just an appreciation for what you were able to bring to us from a really different perspective and a different way of approaching what has affected the whole world. So thank you so much for being here.
I appreciate, Prof. Thanks so much. But Jeslyn, I just remember something. Do you know there are some people who died last year, who succumbed to COVID, who are big in society, affluent? They are still in the mortuary because their families want to hold big funerals. So they are praying that COVID will go away, so they will have the opportunity to have thousands of people attend their funerals. So they are still in the morgue.
So there's people who are waiting. There's some bodies waiting in the morgue. Are the morgues building up?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
They're building up. Yeah. Because they want to hold big funerals for them. So until COVID goes, they'll still be in the morgue.
Yes, I know that I imagine that's causing a lot of secondary issues because some of those people may have died of COVID too, right?
Yeah.
Just people who died from other things.
Yes.
Wow.
Anyway, I have to run, but thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, guys. I think let's do 2 more questions. Seth, I have a question.
Okay.
What is your what are you covering next about this? What are you working on now for covering this?
For COVID?
Yeah.
Now we are doing something on the vaccination. That's our focus now. How to demystify, do with the myths surrounding the vaccine, because we've heard the theories, the conspiracy theories, and all those things. So we are now coming up with something to demystify all the myths surrounding the vaccination and get people to really, it's not by force, but we're going to tell you the truth, the facts about it, so that you make your own judgment. So that's what we are on now. And we are still telling stories of survivors. Yes, we want to give people hope that, yeah, you can recover. But it doesn't mean that you should let your guard down. So we are telling stories of survivors, and we are speaking to families who have lost people, who have lost relatives. We are hearing from them. So who was this person in the family? How has his departure or her departure affected the family? Some are breadwinners and they've left. Just 2 weeks ago, a colleague of mine lost his dad and sister one day. So the emotional aspect, how they are dealing with it, and the psychological. We're also putting together documentaries on the psychological effect of COVID. How people, because in recent times, just less than a month, we've had 4 police officers commit suicide in Ghana. And when we investigated, we realized that it was post-COVID complications. They all suffered from that. So it's an issue that we have to pay attention. So we are putting
You're
all
saying
these things together.
that the police officers all had post-COVID complications and they all committed suicide?
That's what their superiors, the statement their superiors issued, that I think all of them suffered COVID. So it was after, I think, the complications. That's what they told us. The complications that they were witnessing might have pushed them to commit suicide. That's what they told us. So we are investigating more. And we are hearing people are reporting a lot at our psychiatric hospitals with mental health issues. So we are also focusing more on that. Wow.
Okay. That's going to be an interesting story next too. So I think that was one question. So we've got one remaining question. And all the people who said that they have to go, you have my blessing. But Bren, did you have a question? I think we've heard from most everyone else.
I don't know if I really do. I've just really enjoyed hearing your presentation on what this is like in Ghana. I guess the only question that really comes to mind, and maybe you've mentioned this already, but I was just curious, what what is the people of Ghana and your personal view of how the rest of the world has been handling this pandemic? Because we've heard about how Ghana is handling it, but obviously here in the US, it's a little bit of a different story. And I'd be curious to hear how that's viewed elsewhere.
I think that the picture changed, or the tables turned, when President Donald Trump conceded that COVID was real and started wearing the mask because we all had issues with that he didn't believe that he didn't believe it was a real issue even in Africa, that how can you say that it's not real and you are not respecting the protocols? But when he was hit, he appreciated why he needed to wear that. I think so far, Ghana, we have done well because we have had cases, but we have had more recoveries. And I don't know if our weather is also helping, because I understand those in winter places, those in cold places, they are suffering more. Here, the sun is on like half of the day, scorching sun, and we work under that. We are always going up and down. I think that has really helped. Our weather has really helped. I think we have done well so far with less than 600 deaths. We are even putting pressure on the government that is too high and that they must do something. And with the arrival of these vaccines, I think it's going to go down, because it's going to reduce the morbidity. People are not going to get sick the more. It's going to reduce that, and we are happy about that, because we have quite a number of people in critical conditions as we speak. So if they get a vaccine and they are going to recover, it's good for us.
Thank you.
Okay. Seth, from the bottom of my heart, I just want to thank you so much for coming here today. Let's give Seth one more big hand, guys. And Seth, can these students email you some questions if they have any follow-up questions?
Yes, please. Yeah.
Could you put your email in the chat for us?
Okay, I'll do that straight away.
Thank you.
And I'd love to hear from you. I like interacting with students. I always want to share my stories with them. So those of you who have access to YouTube, just type my name. Who have access to Google or YouTube, just type, where is it? I'll type my name. You can just Google my name. You see all about me, my stories and everything. Then I'll add my email address.
And Seth, if you want to, you and I can stay on
Okay.
after the students leave. We can just chat and wrap up too.
No problem.
I think he's typing in his email to us.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've just sent my email.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my personal email.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I really appreciate the time and the opportunity. Let's do it again next time.
All right. Thank you, Seth.
Thank
All right,
you.
Thank you too.
I'm gonna stop recording.